Okay, so far we've talked about the first pillar. What was the first pillar of success? Okay, what was the first pillar of success?
Nia.
Thank you. Clarity or niyyah, right? Okay, good. So the next pillar is mindset. Have you guys heard of the term mindset? Everybody talks about it, right? So Islam gave us the related concept about it, which is what? Faith, yaqeen, iman. All right. So so that's second pillar. Third pillar is ideas, strategy. This is modern terminologies. So Islam gave you basically about consultation, shura, or seeking knowledge and seeking nasiha, ad-deen and nasiha, right? The deen, our deen is basically dependent and founded on a nasiha, sincere advice. And then you have the notion of action. So Islam, you can see how focused Islam is on action, right? Amal. So it's not just like talk, but you're actually also acting on it. And how do you act on something is by patience, which is the sabr. So that's your pillar number 2, 3, and 4. We'll talk about those pillars in a bit, inshallah. Okay, so now there is one pillar remaining. Who can guess the pillar? It's one pillar that's remaining.
Wow.
Okay, mashallah, that was fast. Yes, so that pillar is divine assistance. So you just don't want to depend on your own physical things. That's the non-Muslim world, right? 2 + 2 equals? Right, but you just said with dua, how much 2 + 2 can become?
You put a 0.
Yeah, you can put as many zeros as you like. So 2 + 2 can become 4, 400, 40,000, 400,000. So you don't have to depend on only the physical means. Yes, you are going to be realistic, but you don't have to limit yourself by what other people tell you, because you have the concept of barakah. That's the blessing, right? That 2 + 2 can become 40,000, 400,000, and so on and so forth. But there are ways that you can get divine assistance. You can do certain things to increase divine assistance for yourself. So the concept of divine assistance, I have different videos and details on that. So I'll give you some points, but if you want more details, then you can check out these videos as well. So now imagine that somebody, they want to achieve something, but we tell them, hey, you know what? You're in 21st century, but you cannot use smartphones, you cannot use computers, you cannot use Azure Cloud, you cannot use Microsoft products. They will be very limited. So likewise, as a Muslim, if you want to achieve something and you don't want to tap into divine assistance, you will be very limited. Okay, so we want to understand what is our worldview, like what are we doing here? That's a very important topic to understand as well. So imagine somebody is stranded on an airport. Okay, so what's going on in an airport? Can you close the door if you don't mind? Sorry. So if you're in an airport, you're waiting for your flight, but there's so much else going on. You can go shopping, you can go to the business lounge and relax, or you can eat, you can buy things, you can meet new friends, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, you're really waiting for your flight. And you know, we announce, hey, we are ready to board such and such flight. So that's what's actually happening on an airport. And this world is actually a journey. We are in a transition phase, and it's very important to realize that, so that we just don't think that it's all about, you know, whatever we can do at the airport. So when the transition happens, we have to go through the grave, the life of grave. And that life can actually be business class or really, really miserable. So may Allah protect us from having a miserable life in the grave. And then finally, we go to our retirement with perfect health and energy, either to paradise, or may Allah protect us towards the hellfire. So that's very important to capture. Now we will take a look at one verse and maybe 2 hadith or something like that. And I want you to shout out, what can you see from this verse about any of the different pillars that we have discussed so far? Okay, so let me read out the verse for you. And whoever fears Allah, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, He will make a way out for him. يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا, and will provide for him where he does not expect. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ, and whoever relies upon Allah, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, then He is sufficient for him. فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. So what do we learn from these things in the various pillars? And then finally, indeed, Allah will accomplish His purpose. Allah has already set for everything a decreed extent. So let's see if we can take this and map it onto the different pillars that we have talked about. Okay. What's related to last pillar? Okay. Yes, so that's the last purpose, right? So basically, how do you seek divine assistance is by fearing Allah. So you keep your duty to Allah, and Allah will help you. Allah will make you out of any difficulty. So that's going to the fifth pillar, which was divine assistance. Good. What else? So the last thing that you said, for example, Allah is for everything a decreed extent. I would say that this is related to mindset. Okay, because sometimes we have this mindset of why is this not happening? Why am I not married? Why am I not having kids? Why am I not successful? Why don't I have a job? Why am I still struggling? So we need to realize that, look, whatever we want won't happen tomorrow. There's a time that's required, and what we are really to be worried about is, am I putting my best effort or not? So I would probably say that this is related to mindset. What else can you see? So again, relying tawakkul, I would also say that's also part of mindset. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. This is from the hadith of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is now teaching a young man. So look what he's saying. I shall teach you some words of advice. Number one, be mindful of Allah, and Allah will protect you. What is this? Which pillar? Divine assistance. Okay, so you do this, Allah will assist you, right? So that's divine assistance. Be mindful of Allah, and you will find Him in front of you. Again, divine assistance. If you ask, then ask Allah. Clearly divine assistance. And if you seek help, then seek help from Allah. And know that if the nation were to get together to benefit you with anything, they would not be able to benefit you except with what Allah has written. And if they were able to harm you, they can't do that except with what Allah has written. Now this is mindset. Good.